Welcome everyone, welcome back to another live stream. It's another Saturday, another weekly market analysis. How was your week in general? It's already middle of August, almost middle of August. It's the 12th of August. Time flies. Yeah, it was an interesting week, a little bit of a ranging market, and finally I've been waiting for the dollar to take these highs for the last 10 days or 2 weeks, and it finally did it. It finally took these highs in here. Yeah, hopefully price can evolve now. And it's been quite interesting. There was not much data coming out last week, but only the CPI basically. Before that, nothing much. Next week's going to be quiet as well, especially in the US. In the UK, there's going to be a few data points, but nothing much. Yeah, that's kind of what we have so far, what you're going to have. So if you are new, welcome. Feel free to subscribe to the channel. Basically what we're going to do, or what I do during these sessions on Saturday, is to go to different markets, FX, indices, commodities, mostly just gold and oil, and crypto, mostly Bitcoin and Ethereum. So we go through a little bit of those different assets and markets, and to find opportunities for next week. What am I looking for? Feel free to share any key levels that you plan to look for, or that you think that price may react from. Yeah, let's discuss them together, and let's have a look with it. Let's see how it's going to, what are you looking for anyway. And that's what we do. And I will start with our index because of the strong correlation that it has with so many other different assets. That's usually where we start. So here we are. It's another week that passed by, and this is what you're going to be looking for. So yes, so this is what you had before. This is basically where the market was the beginning of this week. Like we had those lows, but starting to go a bit higher. It retested the highs one more time. It was like Tuesday maybe or Wednesday, and finally expecting again price to finally go above. It didn't, kind of just stayed in there one more time until finally made another move down with CPI, just retested the low again, kind of this fresh demand. It was actually still in there, and now we finally took these highs in here. So we finally did that. It makes it a little bit maybe more strong as a bullish, maybe by creating this, by respecting this level. Yes, it was a level that was still there, so at least those orders have been removed from there. Let's see exactly what may happen in here on the Forex. Welcome in. You're looking for Aussie dollar long from the lows where it is right now. We're going to look at Aussie dollar in a bit. It's going to be interesting to see if you should expect the long on the Aussie from these lows, or if we should be expecting maybe the Aussie dollar to take the lows before maybe making another attempt to the upside. Yeah, I'll take a look into it in a bit. If the dollar just wants to continue to go higher, maybe Aussie can continue to go a bit lower. I'm going to be curious to see how the dollar is going to react around this level, if there's going to be any type of reaction from there or not. Probably by any chance our dollar just wants to continue to move to the upside, and all of a sudden maybe what you'll be looking for is actually something more like this, and price can eventually even target this double top in here, can even go a little bit higher than that. We have some reactions and eventually navigate all the way towards there, and maybe that's going to be the case. We have been kind of in this kind of bullish momentum. We pause a little bit, and basically after this pause you may just resume the momentum, or are going to use this range as a potential reversal and then maybe continuation. It's a little bit of the question mark in here on the dollar, to be honest. Again, we were within that maybe within this range, kind of Price kind of reacted quite nicely from there. We could even go one more time below these lows eventually, and then kind of move higher. Yeah, we find a bit. Personally, it even avoided me some, or took me out of. It made me skip some of the setups this week for dollar not taking this high when I was looking for. Yeah, kind of avoid me to get some longs on the euro. Now that it finally did it, now maybe can look for what may happen next. But yeah, this may be the first level. After that, maybe a little bit of reaction here. But if you start moving much higher, then you start looking for the dollar to go much higher in there. Everything in here kind of been respected. Price kind of went there, respected that level. It's a bit of a compression end of Friday. Yeah, just whatever importance you want to give to this end of the week price action that usually has. It's going to be curious to see how price is going to open next week. If it's going to have that leg up, kind of retest a little bit and maybe take some kind of lows before maybe continue. Maybe before continue to the upside. Looking at the euro hasn't really broken the lows. These respective lows that are these highs in the on dollar index. Euro hasn't done that yet, so euro is kind of lagging at this point a little bit. So that's a little bit of what we have as well. Looking at the daily time frame, what can we have from the daily? On the daily, it looks like maybe a potential good level where price maybe is approaching right now. Yep, it may be an interesting zone. It's kind of managed to start that kind of momentum to break out of this level and kind of start to create momentum to the downside. So that's something that we have in there. Yeah, price respecting this demand zone perfectly like it did. A bit of a concern in there. Even I don't really like where these lows are reacting from, so I could even see price going a bit lower in here. Again, personally, I'm happy that finally took these highs, and I'll be able to maybe start looking for, depending on what price does, looking for maybe price to be able to move a bit down in here. So that's something that I'll be paying attention to. By any chance, if the dollar just continues to move up, then it just go up, and I'm not going to be looking for any reverse. I'll be waiting for price action to give me that confirmation in there. S&P, right? The indices just continue. It managed to respect during this week. With the guys, I actually mentioned that the most important level in here, it was not even this highs. These ones in here were not exactly what I was more concerned about. It was this level. Was the key zone in here. That if by any chance price went to go higher, that was the level that needed to be broken and not this highs. As long as it respected this level, you may as well just continue to this bearish momentum. It's actually kind of a little bit in alignment with this upper trend line that we just broke to the downside. Again, price had reached its target, or one of the targets, which was this compression zone in here. So that's done. In there again, the level on the left side, it makes totally sense. It's a really good level, something that we've been looking for the last few weeks as well, similar to NASDAQ as well. So yeah, we have been positioning ourselves for this move which was 2-3 weeks ago, and yeah, the turn continues to go. Any attempt to go higher just gets rejected. Potential targets in here, yeah, maybe a little bit of a reaction from this level. It will be okay. It looks like maybe it's a potential good level in there, and price has respected a little bit, but hasn't really managed to break any particular highs in here as well. Again, it can even do the test one more time this level, and then maybe just continue to move down. Eventually, if by any chance wants to have a deeper retracement, it still can respect something in there and still worked out as a short in the future. In terms of target, more to the downside, if price wants to continue, yeah, we can maybe start looking for maybe price to go even below that. This level in here, it's interesting as well, or even that one. So that's maybe something that we can maybe aim for on the S&P. Yeah, and eventually again we can actually target not just S&P and NASDAQ as well. We can even aim to target even these highs from August that we broke it and we never really retested them. So that could be even one natural target from this move to downside, and then maybe price can go higher. And yes, at this point the price is reacting from a level that 1 second. It's reacting from this structure in here, and how many days I've been in the bearish mood in here. Like, it's been in this bearish momentum 4 candles in a row, one bullish without even breaking anything, another 4 days. So what even decision as well. So let's see. We can eventually, it would make sense to eventually go higher in here, take these highs, and then maybe make another leg down. And if that happens, that may be a deeper move to downside than just a small retracement in here. So that's something that we are also still looking on the indices. And yeah, so far so good from what we predicted. Let's see if there's going to be any kind of correction to the upside, or just a continuation momentum, and then maybe until here can be a level. NASDAQ, yeah, more of the same. It respected again, even if price by any chance wants to get a little bit higher, there's still levels in there to look for another sell. This level in here, sorry, which we price reached the lower end of this lows that created the all-time the highs in here, and it's kind of a little bit of what we have, a little bit indecision, not indecision, but a little bit of a compression in here. So eventually we may have that correction, even maybe getting to this level, maybe for continuing to move to the downside, or maybe respecting it. I do like this level in here to look maybe for a potential long in here, maybe taking out this level and even this level in here, and eventually maybe start looking a little bit more to the upside, which is getting closer also to that. Actually, that's a little bit too far away. If you do break below that level, then maybe we can start aiming even for this August highs as well. From there, basically this structure below this low. Yeah, if we do continue to do it like that, yeah, maybe that can be the destination in here, getting closer to 14k again on us. Yep, yeah, it has been looking good. We predicted it, so we start anticipating exactly that move down. So let's see how it's going to react from here. Yeah, in terms of, for example, in terms of looking for sales, now that we have been moving down for quite a few days in a row, or kind of 2-3 weeks in a row. Like, we started that one, then this one a little bit of correction, and now another 2 weeks super bearish. Maybe it's the time to look for a little bit for a retracement, perhaps, before maybe joining again to the downside. Or if the momentum just continues, and price is going to continue to move to the downside, and we'll see whenever we get that confirmation to look for that retracement to the upside. That's basically what I may be looking for. Right. It's just thinking in terms of price. This moves a little bit in cycles, go up but then goes down, and then kind of goes a little bit like this. So just trying to find out if this is now maybe the moment to have a little bit of a correction in here. This level can be interesting. That's just basically what I'm saying. Even this was like, as long as this was hold, that can still make it a little bit more bullish. Otherwise, maybe that level in there. Yep, in this particular case, there are maybe opportunities to go long, short, wherever it may be. Yeah, looking forward to continue to look for opportunities on the indices. They have been providing quite interesting opportunities, to be honest. Dow even more in a range. Dow also reached this target that we are looking for, kind of basically the other edge of this compression. There is literally the money in here, that basically where price has been respecting. So since basically broke that low that we've been looking for, that move to downside, and that has happened and it has been completed. Meanwhile, now price is just in this range. So yeah, haven't really followed. I've been looking for the short and shorting it until it reaches there. Since it reached there, kind of I stopped it, and now I need more information. Either price kind of breaks it and starts opening doors to go far down, or eventually kind of let's see what's going to happen. This level in here could be interesting. Price kind of breaking that level, getting a little bit closer to this zone in here. That could be maybe an interesting area to see now moving towards to. But so far, this price just between the range. Yeah, this week I haven't really followed out that much in terms of looking for trades in there. The NASDAQ, yeah, a little bit more in the range as well, with a few spikes, but then kind of moving to the downside straight away. We did manage to break this this level, and this can be maybe important in there to start noticing a little bit more of a room to the upside. So far, price is reacting from this level. We can go a little bit deeper in here as well, maybe before maybe aiming to go higher again. And if it gets closer to this level again, or even there, there's definitely opportunities to maybe look for sales as well. Bigger picture, this is what matters as well. And we already talked about this particular level, that price can go a little bit farther down in this case, right? Price didn't really react from there. It's really a space created in between these two zones with that low. That shows a little bit more bearishness. Meanwhile, price already fake out the high, so we can even retest this kind of maybe left shoulders in here, and then kind of just move down, or just move down from here. And maybe after taking that level, it goes to have the deep retracement again, and then kind of goes on more time. Like we're expanding also the ranges. Initially kind of in here, now it's a bigger one, and eventually it's going to be even a bigger one. And maybe everything that we're trading at is going to be from actually this low all the way to that high, and going to be playing in between these levels. So yeah, that's a little bit of something in a higher time frame. I'm aware of this in here. So that's something that we can bear in mind. Yeah, meanwhile, simple, price could take this size, could react from there, maybe move a little bit more to downside. Yeah, intraday, maybe there's different types of opportunities in there. Yeah, do you guys trade indices? Do you like to trade indices? Is it something that that you like to do, or just more into FX? Oh, FX, yeah. Yeah. Aussie dollar and something else, or just yeah, I'm going to look at the pound in a bit. Euro index, this is another one that we've been looking for. This is something actually that we looked at yesterday, kind of start to become bearish as price was kind of approaching this level. They had a little bit of a correction in here from the supply, but the extreme actually it was in here. Even on the was it 4 hour daily? Which time frame was it? Yeah, even on the daily it was a really good level in there, and we're expecting some correction. Sometimes that's exactly what price does. Like it creates that level in there, but then it creates kind of a smaller one just underneath it to attract people into there. Like you have that high, you have the twin zone in here, but then you kind of have just straight away another one in here, which most likely is going to attract a little bit of the initial reaction from this level to attract people into selling in there, but then going to make an extra leg just there, and it goes into it, especially if this high in here doesn't touch that one and leaves the zone behind. That's basically a little bit of what happened exactly in this particular case, and that's what we paid attention to. Yeah, if you go into more detail, then you could have looked for the base of it. Just let's actually talk a little bit more in the right, because if you actually go into more detail, maybe the base of the move, it was already taken by this level, and that's when then you start looking into more to the extreme even of the level in there, which if you go into the 1 time frame, you can find it exactly in there, right? Because we do have this level, but it was already taken by this one, right? So that's the moment that you can start looking for the other one, right? So a little bit higher into this level. In here, yeah, don't really expect any reaction from there because it's already been taken on the way down, and the other one that was left behind, it was that one, right? So then looking at what happened yesterday, I mean. So yes, to fake out those levels, it has a little bit of a correction first from this level in here, and it's continue create compression and kind of, I believe maybe even broke a little bit of a low. Yeah, but you create this structure and then kind of sudden you have the turn, like, and this helps as well. If you notice it, that's basically what you're looking for a move to downside on the euro pairs. That's basically what we're looking for, like that's why analyzing this euro index can help as well, and not just euro dollar. Like you look at euro CAD, the move that happened, look at euro pound as well, the move. Look at euro yen, the move that happened. Maybe not as big as the other one because the yen index is still pressuring it also, but you could have looked for shorts on the euro pairs and euro dollar also included in this particular case, right? And then you have the typical PI in here and the move to the downside, and you may continue. Again, I believe that maybe price still wants to go a little bit there, but on the daily time frame is actually not bad. If price by any chance wants actually to continue something like this, even to test something in there, or eventually now target this double top that is created in here and eventually spike there and react from here. Bigger picture, kind of broke a little bit into this level. It was not a bad zone where price reacted from in here, euro index. However, I wouldn't kind of mind to see actually going a little bit more deeper into, yeah, eventually resuming this move to the downside without the need to break this high. So let's see what kind of approach you're going to have towards this level, which may lead eventually to a good potential sell on even more on some euro pairs. Yeah, I'll be definitely paying attention to this one during this next couple of weeks to see what the euro index is going to do. And of course, yen index. I don't know if you do guys trade or like to trade the yen pairs. It's going to be under a lot of pressure. Like we literally have dollar yen yesterday closing the day at around 145. 145 for some reason has been a zone or a level that the Bank of Japan kind of feels like it's kind of overextended to the upside, and they kind of start feeling the pressure to do something about it. In this case, it's to intervene. In this case, it will be to maybe buy some 10-year government bonds or whatever it may be that they will do, just like it did last year. In this particular case, it's the yen index approaching these lows, the same thing that is dollar yen approaching the highs. So we are creating a lot of range in here. I wouldn't be surprised by any chance we do take these lows. There's one last demand, fresh demand that is inside there. Aside from that, we may even create new lows. In this case, again, this is historical lows, at least from what I have on this chart, so I don't really have much data. There's no data on the left side, so that's what we have. That's kind of what we need to play with. Yes, there's a little bit of still a fresh zone in there that can be interesting. We are accumulating all these lows in here. Maybe even just retesting this level can be something that could be an opportunity maybe. We broke below that level, we respected it and continued to the downside, and kind of we are in here now. On dollar yen, there's a better level that we are looking for, that maybe price could go to. There's going to be a lot of pressure, so expect some volatility on these yen pairs in here. Next week we had euro yen breaking highs, we had pound yen breaking highs. We have dollar yen again resuming a little bit more the room to the upside. Yeah, it's going to be quite a lot of pressure in here, which can provide good opportunities. And I'm going to be looking for reversals basically, which means shorts when the time is correct and when I see opportunities in there. So yeah, these are the indices that we'll be looking for looking at the individual currency pairs, like, and you guys are interested in the pound and the Aussie, let's just start with euro and then I'll jump into the pound. Euro dollar, right? So this is basically the same that we're looking for on the dollar yen. Again, still these lows eventually to be taken. As we just saw, dollar index has already taken the highs and euro hasn't taken these lows. So that's something to pay attention to. And something else is that euro actually fake out the highs and dollar index respected the lows during the CPI data. Like, this was too obvious. This double top was just too obvious. The same on the pound. The spike to take the highs. It was literally something that we were looking for. And yes, looking at the bigger picture, on the daily time frame, there still may be a zone in here that I kind of may like, and price may still kind of go there and eventually to go higher. This is a break of highs, so that's something to be aware of when we still kind of have this. These lows in here and this structure. Now, do have quite a accumulation of lows in here, and this can be targeted and price can go below that. But I think there's maybe still something that price could react from still within this level. In particular, that zone in here with the NFP last month. So yeah, question mark, is the euro going to also take the lows just the same way that dollar index took the highs? Maybe. I wouldn't be surprised if to do that, if you carry on just moving to the downside and take these lows before any kind of turn. So that's maybe what you can expect for Monday. Price just to literally fill this place in here, continue to downside, and let's see on Tuesday what may happen in here. Yeah, the reaction in here from this high in here, it was a good reaction from that little zone, and then just continuation to the downside. Yeah, I haven't really been focused too much on the euro dollar, neither kind of on dollar index this last basically couple of weeks, as long as price has been kind of in this range. There was opportunity in here. Aside from that, hasn't been something that I've been spending much of my time in here. So yes, maybe in there. Question mark with this one. This is literally just a continuation, or continuation eventually breaking these lows and maybe targeting something in here, or by any chance taking these lows in here and start going a bit higher from that level, still respecting this level. On the daily time frame, it's not a bad zone. It's not a bad zone on daily. We'll see. We'll see. At this point, I'm not going to be looking for any longs until we take the lows, that's for sure. So maybe we can continue to look for more sell pressure in here, all the way through. Do have chose basically they are taken by that one. Yeah. So that's basically what you can continue to look for on the euro. Pound. What's your bias on pound, Musanda? Musanda. What are you looking for? Are you looking for continuation to the downside? Are you looking for longs? What are you looking for? Right, so this was interest rate decision 10 days ago. Since then, yes, we're looking for price to get closer to that level. It reacted from it, and then kind of as soon as it starts to create too much of this range in here, this is literally what we're looking for. And this was the last fresh level in here. This is exactly what we're looking for. Above that, there isn't that much, and then price could carry on just moving higher, respecting this level. It doesn't make it any kind of that much bullish for me. It just reacted from the level that was left behind. Price never reacted from here. These highs never reacted from there. It was just literally a continuation. Typical move in there on the pound, and this can actually work as a trend continuation to the downside, eventually targeting these lows and continue to move to the downside from there. Now, bigger picture, yes, this is maybe still kind of an interesting zone in here that created kind of all this move to the upside, but maybe that's the only thing that happened. Just a little bit of a retracement, and price eventually could carry on moving lower, and maybe even going a little bit more more into there. Yeah, I'm still not ready to completely turn bullish in here. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be good news this week regards to the pound. Like, we have unemployment and CPI, if I'm not mistaken. So especially CPI is can be one of those news that can affect the market. I think last time CPI it was in here, and it had a really big continuation here to the downside. It's going to be interesting one. Like, the reaction in here is not bad, so it reacted from a good level in there. We did manage to take these highs, but reacted from a good level in there as well. So we kind of stick within this range. Potential to continue to move to downside. Yes. Lot of compression in here. It's a tricky one, man. It's a tricky one. Is there anything left at the highs? Again, with the news. Now I went with this one. That one respected it. Yep, intraday the moves, they're okay. Kind of respecting one level, go to the other one. Yeah, hasn't really been something that I've been focused too much attention on. Euro or pound. Can we expect from here? I could see both scenarios, to be honest. I could see continuation to downside. Yeah, could be. Price kind of, we've been trading kind of within this range. If you break below that low, then you can kind of aiming a little bit lower. Maybe still use something in here to go down. Retest that level to continue to move down. Yeah, it could. Why not? Yes, it could. It could continue like that. It could continue like that. We had this kind of range in here as well. Yeah, I could see it. Could see more downside. The same way that if I start noticing kind of a good PA around this level, maybe for long or even a little bit below that. That's on. It's not the cleanest, man. We move to downside from here. That's kind of clean. We kind of talked about it beginning of the month. That was much cleaner than anything else that you're looking in here. Beginning of the month, I mean, like almost 1 month ago. Meanwhile, target, yeah, target makes complete sense to be kind of retesting that level. Initially this level, but then that level. So all of that has been done. And now, yeah, now we'll see. Now we'll see. This can be just a pause before the continuation in there. Even Euro pound reacted nicely from that level. That's a daily zone in here as well, kind of reacting a little bit from there. It's kind of still in the range in here. I could see maybe more room to the upside. On the Euro pound, there's even more, a little bit of a sell in here. But bigger picture also could actually continue to the downside. It's just tricky, man. Yeah, it's just something that I'm not interested at this point. I'm not interested. This was a good level yesterday, Friday. Yeah. Yeah, there are some minor pairs that are a bit better in here. So Aussie dollar, right? That's the interesting one. What are you looking for? Are you looking for? You want to look for a long, right? You want to go long from here. Yeah, I'm not. For me, this is the level. This was the key level in here. It has been since we kind of broke this level in particular. I would like to see this level being broken to look for longs. The break of this side doesn't really mean much to me. I would have wanted to see the break of this zone, which it was not broken. Like the CPI just respected it, even managed to break a new low. Looking into more detail into these lows, there was second. Okay. Yeah, it's even deeper than that. There was maybe this demand zone that was maybe a little bit fresh. Now we're waiting at least for these ones to be taken. And question mark is there anything in here that's going to hold price? Or price is going to react from here? Maybe. We do have, like, this is the extreme. Like, if price has a good reaction from this level, to even have this left shoulder in here. If price by any chance has a good reaction from here, then okay. Otherwise it may just there's a little bit of this out here. Yeah, otherwise it may just go, because bigger picture what we have is actually this low kind of. I'm not sure if it's reacting from anything major from here, and that's a little bit of the problem. It may even go a little bit lower, or it can even go a bit continuation just to downside. Something else that I don't like for a potential long of this, a big long from these lows, is that we respected precisely this about top. Like these highs were respected. There was no break. There is nothing in here that shows that price wants to go higher. It reacted quite maybe nicely from that level, and that makes it a little bit more bearish than I would like to, in order to look for a big long, or kind of at least looking for this. I'm not expecting if everything that you're waiting is just from here to here. Yeah, I'm not saying that price will not react from there. It's just kind of what kind of target you are looking for, or what kind of a move you are looking for in here. Yep, and I'll be playing with cautious in that sense. So for most, even that one, even though price still respected that level, it went down, respected, it just continues to move down. Didn't even manage to break this level either. So I don't really see any break to the upside yet, even on the way down, which again continues to make it bearish in that sense. It's taking some levels, kind of maybe taking some orders from there, but no breaks. If price breaks above this level, maybe that can change. In this particular case, yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest. Euro index, there's maybe even also more room to the upside a little bit. Yeah, this one respecting, not sure. Where price is reacting on the left side, not sure. That's kind of the last low that price is ready to make another attempt. Price not breaking this level, question mark. Price not breaking this level, question mark. So if some of those starting to be broken, starting with this one in here in particular, if this level holds, then maybe you can't have something to look for in here. Otherwise, you just go slightly lower and maybe aiming towards something in there. Yeah. Because even in here, kind of respected it. This is kind of the only one, but that's usually in the beginning, so the beginning doesn't even count. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. So far, I'm still not focused. First and foremost, needs to take this small low, which is basically below this line. There's a small zone in there, and then there's the other one, the origin which we have this move. And then we'll see. You bought at Friday close. You're courageous, man. You're already long. You're already long. Okay. Stop loss. Where is it? Is it below these lows? Are you looking for this big? Is it literally the big swing that you're looking for? Kind of try to test the highs again. And in here itself, it's not bad already. Even if it's a retest to this level, it's kind of a 3 to 1. More than 3 to 1. Yeah, stop loss below the walls. All right. It's about trigger, like whatever trigger you want to find out in here. Like it's as long as you are not trading just because you think it's a double bottom. If you actually found something in there that's telling you that price is ready to reverse, that's it, it's okay. If you're just buying double bottoms or double tops just because, yeah, there needs to be something else. Yeah, there needs to be something else in there. This level, for example, this low, it was exactly the one of the last demands in here. That price still, that were still fresh in there. That was like somewhere in here or whatever. I don't really know where price kind of. What was it again? Yeah, right. Something in here. Okay. Yeah, price still kind of at that small zone in there, and the way, look at this, it's a bit different, right? Price actually broke it, fake out, and then kind of we could have looked for that long, even as a target in there. That would be a good trade in here. But you start having huge compression, and then you have this break of a high in here in particular. Look for that. We haven't had any breaks of the highs yet. No breaks in there. Yeah, looking at EURUSD may just continues to go higher as well. Kind of it respected the level again. Kind of it makes it a little bit more bullish. We just took those major highs in here on the left, so there's maybe more momentum to the upside, which may take Aussie dollar to the downside. So that's something also to consider. And in here, there's literally, what is the limit in here on EURUSD? It's not exactly, yeah, there's not exactly an extreme in here. Yeah, maybe I should talk a bit more. Right, price is kind of reacting something in there, but can go above that, can go a little bit more into there, and eventually can just continue. It's going to be a bit tricky. And that's the base of it, which maybe can lead to something. Yeah, maybe can lead to something in there. Yeah, right. So again, it may continue to go higher. Even with the Euro index moving down, EURUSD still managed to continue the pressure to the upside. Like that means something. Price respecting this level, price respected this level, carry on breaking highs, and that's kind of what we have in here, in this particular case, and that can create a little bit more pressure for the Aussie dollar to go higher. This one, dollar Aussie yen, also kind of moving a little bit higher. Yeah, it's basically between the yen pairs is still the one that hasn't really been that bullish. Yeah, and that's again because of the Aussie. Yeah, the yen pairs, right? Here we go again, 145. Like that's basically where we are, 145, and that happened last month, and we anticipated this move. That's kind of what we were looking for. That happened, it reached kind of a little bit of the target, and it even went a little bit below the target itself, which can actually start leading to a potential move down. This was a really nice level, and the continuation. Yep, and the continuation to the upside. We talked about it last month, that there was a high probability that we could have some kind of retracement on the dollar yen. However, that wouldn't still be the high. Just similar to what happened here, right? Maybe that first attempt to go down, this one was even a bit deeper, but there will still be kind of a continuation. We still haven't had any kind of left shoulder in here to attract liquidity in order to then eventually price to use it and go down, or even kind of a double top to be created in there before maybe making a move like this. Again, maybe the end doesn't really need something like that. If by any chance Bank of Japan is going to just intervene like it did last year. So this was the first intervention, and then you had another one in here, and then I think you had another one somewhere kind of 1 or 2 days after, just after this one. And there you go, like literally that was the top, and since then price has been moving down. If you guys remember, something that we are looking for is before price to get to this level. In here I think that could be some kind of interesting levels to look for a potential sell in alignment with that level from last year when it intervened for the first time. And yeah, and that can be quite interesting, to be honest, because also it's a little bit in alignment with other levels in here as well. So, and we have kind of this good supply level in there. So that's a level that we are looking eventually. Price is still kind of basically 100 pips away. It almost goes to 146, from 145 to 146. In here we may have maybe this month zone kind of was touched in there, so not really sure if that's still going to hold. Price has been respecting kind of these lows. Now, is there anything in this kind of, I don't even remember what happened on the 11th of November last year, October. No, 10th of November last year. I'm not sure what happened in here, some kind of news, maybe CPI, not sure. And price just dropped. So I'm not sure if there's anything in here now that can still hold price down, or if we're going to have just eventually dollar yen, yeah, taking these highs and eventually just carry on moving to the upside. Maybe if the dollar also is ready to move to the upside, maybe this can help as well. So we'll see. Nice reaction already from this level, and from then price just from there price just continue to move higher. Yeah, it's going to be a good. It's going to be interesting to see what the end pairs are going to do, and yeah, let's see when the Bank of Japan is going to do something about it. Yeah, as it continues to go higher, I think that's going to start to create sell pressure in here. It's good. We had all this retracement. We start having some structure that we can maybe use to fake out, and let's see if we're not going to have ups and downs in here by creating new highs, but also with some kind of retracements in here. Euro yen, it took the highs also this week, and it just continues to move higher. Euro yen is actually an interesting one. Why? Because it's actually reacting from this level on the monthly in here on a monthly scale. It's kind of the opening closing of these two candles all the way from August and September 2008. On a weekly level also it's an interesting one, and on the daily level it's also an interesting one, right? So whatever that may be, I cannot really go below the daily time frame to investigate whatever price is reacting from, but it's not a bad level, and you start having a little bit of a correction in here in this level, right? You kind of slightly fake out that level and you kind of move down. Again, you may still go a little bit closer into this level. This demand zone was left behind in the first instance. That compression kind of filled the level and then kind of move higher. Yeah, this may be one zone to look for in here. But yeah, we may just continue to go higher, but it's a good level. It would be a good level to look for a potential retracement in here. In this particular case, something that we didn't have on the dollar yen. Like on dollar yen, we just had those highs, and price finally is about to break those highs. On the euro yen, we already had these highs. We already have kind of a double top. already have kind of breaks over those, with price kind of retesting the previous level of support resistance, and now we have another break in here, right? So for example, if price is about to do something like this, it could be valid, right? It starts to be a little bit more of a pattern of reversal instead of just turning one time from here, or just a little bit of a fake out in here and price going along, right? But there's maybe a bit more room on dollar yen comparing with what euro yen is doing in terms of evolving, and that's why this is maybe not a bad level in here, that you can maybe look for this. Again, the euro index helping also the euro yen to move to downside. Aside from that, the yen index, as you could see, is kind of in a range, is kind of in this size on what to do at this point. Yeah, so that has been the reasoning as well. Nice reaction from there. So let's see, are we going to have one last fake out of this level and then try to push a little bit more to downside, breaking below this level in particular, kind of something in here, it could open the door to go much further down on the euro yen. So that's a little bit more of what you're looking in here. Yeah, personally, I can even prefer a little bit more this kind of pairs than kind of movements than maybe what's going on just now on the euro dollar, for example. And that's why my focus goes into the pairs that I've a bit more clear for me. Like I don't just trade the majors, I look for the other ones as well, and I try to find actually where this kind of overextension or either to the upside or to downside with some clean rejections already in zones to fake out, so then they can lead to the reversal. Yeah. So that's euro yen, pound yen, more of the same. We finally managed to break away from this level. Pound yen, it's a little bit even different. Yep, kind of similar move to the euro yen. But if you remember what I've been saying as well in here is that looking left, okay, looking left, we are in this kind of compression. And I mentioned that because that high that made that move to downside on pound yen, it managed to break above this high, and then we had the big retracement. Okay, but that was already breaking to this compression zone. So in the bigger picture, I don't be surprised if, yes, we break in. This is a typical move. We break into the compression, we have a deep retracement, but eventually we are coming back to feel the compression that we broke into it. Right, so that's a little bit of maybe what you could see in here. So I wouldn't be surprised if I continue to see a little bit more room to the upside on the pound yen until maybe either we get to this level or kind of get a little bit more to something else before you have maybe the bigger reversal happening in there. Yeah, so that's something just to keep an eye on. There's a little bit of a zone in here that could be interesting. 184.706, something like that. Yeah, aside from that, maybe a little bit higher into 105.718. Alright, so maybe the first zone maybe in there, and then kind of the next one kind of in here. So let's see what kind of a move we are going to have in here. I think we even respected this level, kind of took it slightly in there. Yeah, so that's a little bit of what we have. The structure in here, kind of as long as this holds, yeah, in particular kind of that level as well. I think we may just continue to go eventually higher. Again, can be up and down, something like that. Yeah, but targeting a little bit higher until the end of that compression. Then we may turn again. Yeah, doesn't mean that you cannot look for opportunities on the intraday, even as a short or kind of just a continuation. But bear in mind maybe the target that we are looking for as a long in there. Which one? Sorry, just saw your message now. Musonda, which pair I was looking at pound yen. I don't know which one you're looking for. Yeah, I don't know which one what are you referring to? On card, this has been an interesting one. Like, this was a good reaction on Monday, if not mistaken. Nice reaction from this previous level support support resistance in here, and basically price fill out the range, right? That was something that we were looking for as well. I have to admit that I undervalued the importance of that level on the left side. I didn't really see the potential for this target all the way down. Was aware of this level, and it makes completely sense. Like, we have this level and we have this extreme. However, we have this clean demand zone that price created to the upside, and it was literally crushed on the way down. My price should have done this. It didn't. It just continued to move down. So usually in here, there's going to be some kind of reaction in the future when price comes back into it. And that's basically what happened, and all the way to the demand zone. Like, it just went from one side to the other side, and that was it. And now we are kind of in the middle at this point. Bigger picture, yes, we may still aim towards that level. That's maybe something that we may go to still. But meanwhile, let's see what may happen here. This point here can also be interesting eventually to look for a long. But so far, price reacted really nicely from this level, so maybe just continuation from here could be any pot. Yeah, one of those scenarios that you could see. Overall, maybe targeting still higher. That's maybe the overall direction on the CAD. On CAD, we have been looking for longs, yeah, all the way through. Almost everything started with this high, and then confirmation with this high in here. So that's literally what you may be looking for. Are you going to be trading within this range for a while? Maybe. But overall, if it approaches again, maybe somewhere in here or somewhere in here, maybe there's longs to be looking for until eventually price may get there. And even the other CAD pairs, like, it's been quite interesting. Euro CAD, unfortunately, this one it dropped too quickly in there. So this is one that I've been following. For example, like, we start having all this compression being created in here with a good level in there, right? So price respected several times kind of a few zones in here, and until it went all the way to the extreme of those highs where it reacted from. We start having those level tops, like structure, breaking a little bit of low. We had this upper trend line being respected until eventually what we're having here, even this kind of price breaking a low even before making that final fake out. Fortunately, the move then was too quick. There was no retracements whatsoever to try to participate. Then kind of the next structure was created in here, but close to the extreme in there was nothing. So by any chance, if price even retraces back to this level, there's maybe still several opportunities to occur from there. But yeah, there you go. Euro index in alignment, and Euro CAD kind of following through with this strong compression. Right? Again, this is for me, it's much a cleaner move than maybe what the pound or euro dollar have been doing recently. And this is where my focus actually has been more. I identify, expanded my portfolio to look for more clean moves. Be patient enough and just wait for them to play out until get to specific levels with good approach. Can take 1 or 2, 3 days to evolve until kind of looking for them for the entry. Yeah, interesting one, kind of target, yeah, just feeling kind of the other edge of the compression, and that would be the scenario. Maybe a little bit of the money in here, eventually can go a bit lower in here. So let's see. Bigger picture, maybe still can go a little bit higher in there. As I mentioned, maybe there's still something in here that could offer some reaction from. Yeah, let's see where these lows are going to react from before maybe price goes back to this level. Pound CAD also, right? Pound CAD, for example, has been reacting from this supply level, and meanwhile it's been kind of creating all of this structure. Broke a low, respected, kind of went a little bit more even to the extreme, kind of created to create all this based on that level. It's a level that actually on pound dollar price hasn't reacted from yet. So that's something to be aware of whenever pound dollar goes there. Yeah, like maybe better opportunities in here as well. Again, comparing with maybe what the pound or euro are doing. Yeah, dollar franc Swiss, super rangy. Yep. Initially 2 weeks ago, kind of this was a good level to look for a short. Meanwhile, I don't really like this. Like this range, I just don't like them. I don't like to trade this, and I just stop even paying attention to it until price evolves This price wants to go a little bit higher. This price wants to go a little bit closer to this level. Maybe. Again, the level it was a good level. We can eventually even move down as well, kind of take these lows, maybe still react from something in here and carry on moving to the upside. So that's a range that that price may do, or may behave like that. You may take this high. For example, we could do that. Yeah, and then kind of go up again. That could be something to happen in here on dollar franc Swiss, and then finally we can aim towards that level, or even go all the way until there. So yeah, that could be interesting. And it's just waiting for those extremes to be played out in the right moments. Gold. Yeah, gold kind of is reaching an interesting target. So it feels this is the range that we've been looking for. Gold reached that level with the edge of this compression. Then you have this space in here that price never reacted from it. Meanwhile, we start moving down. This could have been a good sell, and we reach this target. Now we have this full compression in here, so that's interesting. We haven't really had a breakup to the upside yet. There's maybe a little bit of this level in here, but price just reacted from that. And this level in here was something that I was looking for yesterday, but price still managed to respect that level. Like for example, break above this one, that could be an interesting continuation to the upside. But price respected once, twice, and meanwhile just moving down. I really like where this low reacted from into this level, picking out this low. So that was a really interesting level in there. Also higher time frame, I believe it was a good zone, which can still hold. We'll see. But yeah, I would have liked to see that level, that specific zone, to be already taken to the upside, to aim for something bigger. My friend, how are you, man? How are you, trading tools? Did you trading blocks in this case? Did you open any trades this week? Did you have time for it? So yeah, gold. Again, if by any chance dollar is about to continue to just resume the move to the upside, maybe gold can also just resume the move to the downside and go below this low, and eventually start targeting something in here. You missed EURUSD buy that it showed for 2 pips. EURUSD, which one? That we talked about last week. That we were looking for price to go below NFP and then go higher after that. We talked about that last week, right? That kind of NFP level didn't really reacted from the demand zone, and that there was a high probability that price could go below that and go higher after that. And you're looking maybe in here? Yeah, that one. That wasn't lucky, man. You have kind of this spike in here. Yeah, that wasn't lucky. Yeah, it wasn't lucky, and it would have been a great trade again. Yeah. Yeah, it was a good analysis. Yeah, it wasn't lucky. It's okay. There's more to come. Let's see now if price does want to go below these lows, and follow what the dollar index already did. Yeah, the fake out of the highs was quite predictable, kind of as we mentioned already. But yeah, looking at gold, it can resume, right? It can resume the move to downside, kind of respected this level. It's a lot of compression already on the way away from this level. This will kind of reacted a little bit from something in there, but maybe the final destination from this level is maybe towards here, and not just to pause in there. Right, so I wouldn't be surprised if by any chance we do carry on gold continue to move down. Now in here, what do we have? So that was the zone, and that's why I really like it. Like where price reacted yesterday, and yeah, there was that created. I'm not sure about then these levels in here. This one kind of already reacted from here, and then kind of all of a sudden we are already at the lows of the lows in there. So yeah, this was the zone. I'm not sure if I like anything in here. Price going to retest this level. Price is going to fake out this one in here. This one is reacting from here. Is price going to respect any kind of demand zone at these lows? Is there anything in here price will go to? On the bigger picture, which bigger picture? Even on the daily time frame, it's really nice. Yeah, on the 1 hour, there's something in here. With this one's kind of never touch it, but if you start going into the war time frame, oh, okay. I had a different idea. Yeah, kind of this touch in here. This one, this week, it took the demand from there. Where is it again? Yeah, we have this demand that is visible on 1 hour and 30 minutes and so on, but there's already this touch into that level, which makes it a bit weaker. Then you have all these lows that never really go back into this level, right? That's basically what we have in here. 30 minutes is not done, it's not touched, it's kind of left behind. 1 hour is left behind, 4 hours is not even there anymore. Yeah, it's a bit tricky. It's one of those that it's tricky, but that weak in there, it may make all this level much weaker, comparing to, for example, this one, which can be a problem. Yeah, and then in there. Yeah, then. Yeah, we'll see. Looking at the level in here, right? So what do we have? So we have that one that was a little bit fresh, that this one didn't touch it. It touched it now, basically at the closing, and it has a good reaction. Like if by any chance this one wants to go higher, I'll be much happier. I actually would prefer to see these lows actually holding and respecting that level on the left side, without the creation of any new lows and price just correcting from here. I actually would like to see that. But that's maybe something to pay attention to straight away during the opening on Monday morning. See what gold's going to be doing. And breaking above this level again could be. Now we did manage to respect this level. Price never managed to break above this. That's a little bit of the concern. But yeah, respecting this level in here. That's literally one of the last ones. Yeah, I think gold that could be an interesting one. Otherwise, then maybe just continuation. I'll give it also a possibility to see how price is going to react from here. Either way, even though it's not my favorite. Yeah, this left shoulder has already been reacted from this level, so that's taken. Yeah, so let's see. But yeah, I've been waiting and waiting and waiting. I haven't really been following gold that much, but now it's going to be on my radar for sure to see how price may react from this level. Like it was on my radar when price kind of created this level and in there. Now I'm going to be looking at it at the other extreme, and that's basically what I've been doing. Oil, oh, it's another one. Yep, I do like this level. We finally took these highs from April. Like we are literally all the way above 84, getting really close to 85. which this can be a problem for the inflation. If the energy costs starts to resume again and become expensive, it can increase the prices for so many other services and products, which can be a problem for the CPI. Like, it can bring whichever CPI. Actually, maybe that's what the market's already expecting. Not for the CPI that we just had, but the CPI in September. The number to be higher just because of the higher energy costs due to oil, for example, being at almost back to 90s instead of 60s. So that can be a problem. Yes, I don't mind this level. Eventually, price, since we kind of took this level in here, we may continue to go higher. So maybe that's something to keep an eye on. But for now, as an interesting first approach or reaction from, it's not a bad zone. Something in there maybe. And the problem with all this is that the way price moved to downside, it was such in a compression way that it's so tricky. And maybe with the type of move that we're going to have on the way up, if price is ready to go up, it may be also in a really strong choppy way of making highs and lows and so on. Like, which we created these highs, price respected all the way the lows, and we are starting to navigate. Like, we broke slightly the highs in here, went all the way, fake out slightly that low, and we start moving to the upside. Like, the break of this high may have been the trigger, start become bullish, and we had another move down, still respected the demand zone, and we start moving higher, and maybe we can go. For example, maybe we can even aim towards this 95. Right? It's basically $10 more from where we are at this point to go above this highs into this structure in here. Now, how to get there? Yeah, we may go up and down, may even have a kind of a deeper retracement again before maybe continue to move to the downside. Meanwhile, intraday, for example, I was actually looking for a short in there. I did miss straight away the PA in there. Then I was looking for that short in there. Price paused, never reacted from it, and it just moved down. Yeah, I was looking for price kind of to retest a little bit this level. This size never reacted from it. We kind of managed to break slightly below this level, retesting this previous level support resistance in here. But yeah, this one could maybe be seen a little bit as an engulf down, and maybe if depending on the approach that price may take, and hopefully it's going to go there, maybe there's a chance to look for a sell somewhere in here, even if it's retesting these lows or even a little bit farther down in here. Again, I'll follow the PA until price kind of gets there to see what may happen. And that's maybe a little bit of what we're going to have. Anytime kind of we go higher, it kind of go down a little bit, go higher, kind of go down a little bit, go higher a little bit, go down. And that's maybe what we can expect from oil in the next few weeks. Yeah, there's been an interesting pair also to look for opportunities and to trade. In here, in this particular case, price left this one behind. This was something that to look for. Actually, Brent actually reacted from here, which is interesting. Comparing with oil, Brent actually reacted from that level. Small scalps for oil. Doesn't need to be that small of a scalp. For example, you could have traded this kind of zone in here, all the way from here to there, for example. That's kind of a day trade, intraday trade, okay, a few hours, and you could have find it. Right, we have that structure. As soon as you kind of break below this level, we could have aimed for price to get there. That could be kind of a good setup in there. For example, even yesterday, I was not really focusing here, but even yesterday, finally, when you break above this highs, we could have maybe tried to trade this KM zone, maybe aiming eventually for price to get towards that level. Yeah, so there are. I've been focused. I've been looking for good opportunities on oil. This one was one of them. It was a really clean setup. Compression. You break below it in here until finally have that turn, and with a specific target of looking for the end of the compression. That's literally, if I was about to say, my April setup is to find an approach like this with a good level on the left side and to trade just towards the end of the compression. Be patient enough. It takes maybe, I don't know, 3, 4, 5, 6 days to evolve, and then takes maybe 1 day to do the opposite. Yeah, those are literally my favorite. Just pay attention to the approach, keep following it. Requires patience, and just waiting for price actually to react from the good levels on the left side. I'm curious to see now what's going to happen in there on oil. Yeah, moving on. Let's just finish this with crypto. Are they turning again? Right, so what do we have in here, right? So we talked about it last week. It was, what day is today? Well, was it the 5th? Yeah, I think it was the 5th of August. What did we have in here, right? So market cap, right? It was an interesting one. What happened this Monday with the fake out of this level? It finally broke into this level. We have been looking at this one in here, if you remember. It was a level that Bitcoin initially also reacted from after taking these lows. Bitcoin also, at this point, Bitcoin has already taken this level, right? Bitcoin actually already went below this level. And then that's kind of where the war low at this point has been created or reacted from. Like it was already below this level into there. So we had that fake out in here, and then price finally moved to the upside. Now I was looking for this one in here kind of as a potential already engulf upwards, right? Which we broke above this structure in here. It doesn't mean that price doesn't react from maybe something else in here, but at least this structure that held price so many times, we broke above it. And you know, I've been mentioning already so many times that I'm looking for price eventually to take this structure, these highs in here, maybe into that level, to then maybe continue to move to the downside. For example, now we kind of have an engulf to the, I may have an engulf to the downside from this range in here. So maybe price could go all the way, kind of retest this level, and then kind of continue to follow based on the engulf that we have in here, picking out all this structure. And this has actually been what I've been looking for on BTC for a while. I've been making that scenario, that setup for that prediction for a while. So meanwhile, we created this structure. Price went all the way down, all the way up. It respected that double top, and now it's reacting from this support resistance, right? That's kind of the next clue in here is to know from here, is price going to jump again, or by any chance is going to retest again and maybe eventually just resume the move down, right? That's kind of a little bit of the question mark that we have in here. Yesterday we had a little bit of a momentum to the downside. Meanwhile, literally just to respect something in here, and we are kind of at this size again. We have been compressing, like slightly breaking a little bit of a high in here, breaking another high in there. So we have been compressing, so I wouldn't be surprised if all of a sudden we have another strong move upwards. Okay, but maybe that needs to, a break in there needs to happen before maybe that can carry on. Like this one here, for example, could be a potential zone to for a long in this particular case, right? Yes, I'm not the biggest fan of this double top. I didn't like the double top to happen. It kind of creates also always a little bit more of a bearish move when you have a double top being respected. When high, it's okay. A double top kind of, it shows some respect of the zone, and maybe it aims to, or kind of attempt to go a bit lower. But it is what it is. This level in here is something that I have in mind. BTC. So what we have in here, right? So we talked about it last week. That's kind of what we have. So that was the level that it was already taken. Right, and this was a little bit of the structure that now market cap has reacted from. Really nice reaction. Right, I'm long from here, somewhere in there. I've been long, reached my first target in there, and my second target is somewhere in there. I'm still holding it. I've been holding it since Monday. Yeah, right. I got long with the somewhere in there or something like this. Actually, somewhere in there. I don't know. Somewhere in here, I got long. When this first move happened, I got long. I tried to get in straight away again, kind of to add into the position, but then I never got filled. The second, like the other part of it. But yeah, really nice reaction. Again, Bitcoin loves to collect left shoulders, and that's what it did in there. It moved higher, reached target, and again, I'm looking for price to eventually take these highs from the 30k mark and to get closer to this something in there, and then we may continue to move to the downside. That's kind of where I'm aiming to for the next one. At this point, which we just similar to what happened in there, just retesting this previous support resistance now, and let's see from here if this is to hold it or kind of to continue to move to the downside. Sorry. Or is by any chance to kind of turn around and make another attempt higher. Yeah, I don't like that. Again, price has been respecting this quite nicely. Initially respected that level, which was really good, and now respected the original in here. And again, that level top, not a big fan of that. Especially if I still want to be bullish and kind of see price going upwards. But let's see. We can even have another attempt into here. Again, we still have maybe some left shoulders in there, but for now, we may have some reaction from this support resistance in there. So, yep, I'm totally okay. Price by any chance wants to continue to move down from here. It just continues. That's actually my bigger picture view. Is actually eventually for price to continue to move down. I would prefer first to see it going upwards before kind of moving down, but if it just wants to go from here, it just goes from here, and that's okay. Yeah, I haven't almost even paid attention to what Bitcoin is doing since Monday. I got filled. I haven't been following. I got notification of the first target, and that was it. Yeah, it's minimized on my chart. Ethereum, it's also an interesting one, because Ethereum actually went all the way to take these lows, right? Again, maybe bigger picture, it also opens the door to see more bearishness in here after respecting this structure for so long. Initially kind of broke below that level or that low in there. But yeah, this is a structure that has been holding price for way too many weeks, and we just broke to the downside right now. What may happen in here is also, again, full compression. We didn't really manage to take this high, so that's a little bit of a concern in there. But almost all of it is full compressed. Again, even now it's full compressed on the way down. Again, maybe retest of this level, or maybe another attempt to go into here, and then we may go higher. Or maybe it doesn't need to go even here. But I wouldn't be surprised if by any chance we all of a sudden have a big momentum to the upside, because every single almost sell zone in there has been taken from. I wouldn't be surprised if eventually that happens. You can see any attempt to go higher, kind of prices has almost been taking those orders. Everything is taken in there and can eventually aim there. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's just something almost like this all of a sudden. Yeah, it's another weekend, so weekend is kind of played around a little bit, and then on Sunday it's going to be Sunday evening. That's maybe the first big move. That's which direction is going to be. That's a little bit of the PI that we have over the weekend. And that's it for me, guys. Yeah, dollar took the highs finally. Is going to be just a fake out and resuming to the downside, or is going to be any kind of continuation? Same on the euro, is going to continue to move to the downside or not. Gold, it's also an interesting one. Indices, they are at a really interesting level. How the move to downside is basically almost filled, getting close to targets. So let's see how price is going to behave from these targets from here. Going to be an interesting one. Yen, 100% that we should be paying attention to here, and there's going to be some kind of movement from here at these lows, while dollar yen it's 145, as it keeps going above 145. Going to be more sell pressure. Euro index also kind of good reaction from here. I think price can still go a bit higher before maybe making that move down, but so far so good. Yeah, so that's something that we can maybe look for. Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. This is going to be my last week. Then I'll take to the last 2 weeks of August. I'm going to be on holiday, so there's no stream for the next 2 weeks at least. 3 weeks. I'll be back in September. All right, so I wish everyone a great end of the month. Enjoy, take advantage of the opportunities. Again, if you can, or if you want to have a little bit more of that approach, navigate a little bit more or expand a little bit more your portfolio, and just be patient enough to look for price to get exhausted in some direction, and then try to catch that retracement. Even if it is not a complete 100% reversal, the retracement itself can be enough. Like if you see price moving to the upside for 1, 2, 3, 4 days in a row, and it's starting to approach a really good level on the left side, and it starts to show some weakness, again compression, just wait for them to break into that level, wait for the retest, and you can have a good trade from there. Just simple, don't overcomplicate. Sometimes it's better than to try to trade just $0 or $1, for example, when it's a bit messy the way it's been moving. Yeah, so here we are. Thank you very much, guys. Enjoy. I'll see you in 3 weeks time. Bye bye. Obrigado. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. Thank you. Bye bye.